Hey there, what is up? Wednesday, April 12th, new podcast, Nate's Take number 3. I'm excited. We're going to get right into it. We're talking about Odell Beckham Jr. to the Ravens. Rudy Gobert punches a teammate in the NBA playoff picture. Let's get into it. So, first thing, I'm a Ravens fan. I'm a Baltimore Ravens fan. I'm a Baltimore sports fan, Baltimore Orioles and Ravens. If they had a basketball team, that would be my team, but I'm a Rockets fan. Odell Beckham Jr. has been signed to the Baltimore Ravens for a 1-year, $15 million. I think that's almost double what he's worth. He gets hurt a lot. He doesn't supplement as much as you think he would on offense. He's bouncing around the league from the Giants to the Rams, now to the Ravens. I think there's another team somewhere in there. I think the Browns as well. He has a huge tendency to just get hurt randomly and then just be out for the rest of the season, or be out for the rest of the game, or be out for the rest of the year. He's very fragile. He's a very fragile human being, and I think he's fragile physically and mentally / emotionally. He's a superstar, right? He's a big guy, very well known. Everybody knows him. He's a household name ever since the catch against the Cowboys, and I think it's just skyrocketed him to this stardom that, like, he's like a rock star, right? Like, he's like that kind of guy that, he's not married, he doesn't have much responsibility, he gets paid millions of dollars, and he plays in the NFL. Like, how responsible can this guy actually really be with the Ravens, with a good old, he's a little bit older player. It's like, so he's somewhat of a veteran, so he's going to be part of this older, more veteran Ravens wide receiving core. And the question is about Lamar, but I know Odell and Lamar are friends. Something's going on there as well, because they're posting pictures with each other on Instagram, and they're on a live stream together or whatever. So the future's pretty bright with Lamar on the Ravens, even with the franchise tag and everything going on. But I think Odell Beckham Jr. is a big piece for the Baltimore Ravens. However, this is just a 1-year, $15 million deal. Like, if we can sign Odell Beckham Jr. for 1 year, $15 million, we can pretty much just give Lamar whatever he wants if we're just going to pay Odell double what he's worth. But I digress. He's a good player. He'll help us out in the long run, at least towards the end of the season, because this is only a 1-year contract. So this is coming from a team that wants to win now. This is a team that doesn't want to win later, and doesn't care about what's going on in the quarterback, wants to win now. So I applaud the Ravens. This is somewhat of a ballsy move. I listened to a podcast, Ravens podcast, and they were over the moon about this signing. I'm not the biggest fan of this signing. I think he'll definitely help, but I'm just waiting for the game 3. He just gets hurt, ACL torn or whatever, and he's gone for the rest of the year, whatever. Second, we got Rudy Gobert punches teammate Kyle Anderson. This is almost a playoff game that they're in with the Timberwolves, and he just punches him. He punches his teammate. They're like in a loud altercation on the bench. I think Kyle Anderson called him a couple names and started yelling at him, and Rudy Gobert just punches him. It was mostly in the shoulder area, arm area, but it wasn't in the face. That's, probably, that would be even worse. Rudy Gobert got a 1-game suspension in the playoff. I think it's a play-in game, because they were basically playing in a play-in game to be in the play-in. so this is like their last game of the season, last regular game, or second to last. And he punches his teammate. Granted, I think there's a lot of things that happen off the court that we do not see as fans. And I get that, tensions are high. Well, if this was like a game in like November against, like, I don't know, the Pistons, the Rockets, and this is like the second quarter, I would probably understand. Okay, I was like, all right, good. All right, bro, you need help. But this is serious. These are people. Tensions or emotions are high. They're trying to do their job, trying to get into the playoffs, and he just punches his teammate. Overreaction, but I get it. So that kind of moves us into the NBA playoff picture. We have the play-in tournament. I think this is the second or third year of the play-in tournament. I'm not the biggest fan, because I don't think more people should be in the playoffs. The play-in tournament is still part of the playoffs. It's still part of it. It's still like, it's still, the NBA are calling the play-in tournament part of the playoffs. This is like playoffs part 1. This is even before the first round. I don't think teams should be playing more games, and I don't think more teams should be getting into the playoffs. The 10th seed gets in the play-in tournament. The 10th seed in either division gets in the play-in tournament. Why? Why? And Draymond Green brought this up in his podcast, that the winner between the 9th and the 10th seed play the loser of the 7th and 8th seed, and then whoever wins that becomes the 8th seed, and then the 8th seed plays the 1st seed. It's really confusing, honestly. I'm right now looking at it like that's set for this year, and I'm like kind of confused on how it works, because if you're the lower half or the bottom tier, the 9th and the 10th, you play a game, and then whoever wins has to play another game because you were the lower seeding out of 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th. The winner of the 7th and 8th just goes on and goes to the 2nd seed. So it's like it's like the 2nd seed doesn't really know who they're playing. It's funny because the Suns are playing the Clippers. They can both prepare for each other. The Kings are playing the Warriors. They can both prepare for each other. The Cavaliers are playing the Knicks. They can both prepare for each other. And finally, the 76ers and the Nets, they're playing each other so they can prepare for each other. Right now, I can only assume the players on the Nets getting ready to play the 76ers. I can only assume that the Knicks are getting ready to play Donovan Mitchell and the Cavaliers, whereas the 1st seeds and the 2nd seeds, who made it their goal to get a higher seed and accomplish that goal, almost get punished for it because they're such a high seed that they're such a high seed 1st and 2nd, they don't get to know who they play until 1 or 2 days, 1 or 2 or maybe 3 days before they actually start playing. The other seeds get to know who they're playing like a week out. But the 1st seeds and the 2nd seeds, the 1st seeds have to take even longer, because whoever's going to become the 8th seed eventually, there's 2 games that have to be played before the 8th seed. For the 7th seed, there's only 1. So what does this mean? Why is the play-in tournament? I don't think it should this seems like just pandering to the crowds or the audiences and even players that they're a really good player, but they're on a bad team. Like, does it actually boost ratings? Do people, like, I get it. Like, the Thunder and the Bulls are both the 10th seeds in their respective divisions. Are there really Thunder fans that are like, man, I can't wait to watch this play-in game against the Pelicans? Like, you're the 10th seed. Even if you win, then you go on and you play either the loser of the 7th or 8th seed, and then you have to play again. And then and then whoever becomes the 8th seed, assuming it's the Thunder, you have another 7-game series against the Nuggets. So it's like, it's just a race to whoever's just going to lose in the first round. I don't really get this whole idea of the play-in tournament. My friend said it was made for just LeBron, which I don't necessarily believe. But golly, does this just not help anything? You know, this doesn't help anything. If I was a Rockets fan, absolutely, I'm gonna watch my play-in tournament game if they play whoever. I don't care. And then if they win that game, then yeah, okay, of course I'll watch the next game that they're gonna play. And then they'll eventually become the 8th or the 7th seed, whatever. And then they're just gonna lose in the first round, right? They're the lower seed, and they had to get through 1 or 2 games to get to you. So probably like the best thing about these play-in tournaments is that you just get to see your team play 1 more game, maybe 2 more, maybe 3. Oh boy, it's just an extended regular season for some of these longer. Because is a 10th seed really? Is a 10 seed really going to win against the 9th seed? And then is a 10 seed really going to win between the 7th and 8th seed? And then is the 10th seed really going to beat the first seed, the first time in all of NBA history. Really? Whatever. I'm just not a big fan of this play-in tournament. I think it's just to get more people in the playoffs. I think it's more of a cash grab than an actual thing that the NBA really wanted. I know they have a lot of changes going on next year in the CBA with this regular season tournament, what's going on. I'm not too sure. I'm not the biggest fan of this play-in tournament, but if it boosts ratings and we get good basketball out of it, sure, I'll be a fan. Thank you so much for listening, watching, having fun, going crazy with me about this Nate's Take, Sports Take, Odell Beckham Jr., Rudy Gobert in the NBA playoff picture. I appreciate you guys, and I'll see you guys in the next podcast or YouTube video.